All right then, once more with feeling. Hello and welcome to an AVForums video overview of the Eversolo DMP-A6 Gen 2. My name is Ed Selley, I'm the Hi-Fi editor for AVForums. What have we got here then? Well, we've got the successor to one of the more influential streaming products of the last few years. Eversolo is a spin-off of Xidu, maker of excellent media boxes, and effectively what we've got here is taking a lot of the hard-won experience of the Xidu products and optimizing it for audio. Now, as the original A6 and then the attendant master editions, there's a master edition of this as well. This is not it, this is the standard version and yours for £800. There wasn't very much wrong with that, so amazingly enough, Eversolo hasn't decided to fix it. They've simply tweaked the recipe and, generally speaking, made it better. It's a network streaming preamplifier and DAC, like an awful lot of these products are. You have a choice of balanced and unbalanced analog outputs. The circuit is built around two ESS DACs. It's balanced from front to back. It's got a revised power supply that's been borrowed from the A8, or at least a derivation of the A8 one. Unlike the A8, there are no analog inputs. There is no analog section to this, and Eversolo doesn't seem to want to do the process of summing analog to digital, which some of its rivals do. What you do get for the first time is HDMI ARC as an input connection. The HDMI output is retained as well, which is a very unusual feature, and if you need that sort of thing, it puts the Eversolo pretty much in a class of one. At the bottom, you can put a hard drive in it, and then it becomes a completely self-contained server and streamer, which is, again, not that common really, and rather handy. It's especially handy because it's tied to an interface which, bluntly speaking, works, and that's a big deal. The Xidu streamers always felt a bit lacking, and then out of literally clear blue sky, the Eversolos arrived with pretty much all of it corrected. It's an Android-based platform. It has the facility to assemble its own library. So if you connect either a hard drive internally or USB drive to the back, it'll read it and turn it into an excellent curated library of its own. It's not completely dependent on the serving principles of the device that it's connected to. It takes a little bit of time, but when you do it, it generally works extremely well. I did have a bit of a fart with this one where the first time it scanned my library, it scanned every album 3 times, and I'm not 100% sure why it did that, but crucially, it then didn't do it again. So we'll just have to chalk that one up to something disagreeing with something else. It then supports pretty much every streaming service you can imagine, including, crucially, because you can sort of essentially sideload the app onto it, Apple Music, which is something of a rarity. It's also fully Roon compliant, and it's been, other than that album foible, it's been unconditionally stable under test. It's also beautifully made. This is one of the very best screens doing the rounds anywhere at the price point. It's in solid casework. The back panel is well laid out. It's a product that just fundamentally hangs together beautifully. And having done that, does it sound radically different to the one that came before, which was here for some years? No, it doesn't, because there was pretty much nothing wrong with the original. So it's tweaked here and there. I didn't have the means of doing a side-by-side comparison. I don't think it's going to be any worse. I don't think it is any worse. And given that it's trying to improve on a product which was pretty much as good as it gets under £1,000, there's not really anything to argue with. But, the nature of how these videos work, there is the searching question: is it better than Bluesound's NODE ICON, which has been here for a while? We didn't do a video on it, but it's here now and it's featured in this video. So, you know, consider this, if you like, late payment on that. These products are the same, but different. The Bluesound is £100 more expensive, and at first glance, it's hard to see where some of that money's gone, because the Eversolo has better format handling, the range of digital inputs is better. I would argue it's ever so slightly better made, although this is hardly, you know, chocolate box kind of quality. And what's more, if you want EQ on this, it uses the Dirac system. It's brilliant. It works sensationally well, but you are going to be charged for the privilege. It's an extra cost on top of the already higher cost of the Icon over the Eversolo. The Eversolo's EQ is something that you need to roll your sleeves up, get your own measurements done and input stuff to it, but it comes at no additional cost, and if you're willing to put the time in, you can get excellent results out of it. Dirac, on the other hand, if you do pay the money, 35 minutes and a microphone, and you can have a level of room optimization that would take a very, very, very long time on the Eversolo. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. This hasn't got a hard drive bay, so you can't do that. But it does have not one, but two really very, very good headphone sockets. The Bluetooth is also two-way, so you can connect Bluetooth headphones to it. As far as I'm aware, you can't do that with the Eversolo, although given that the Eversolo has menus for days, I will stick my hand up and say it's possible that I missed it. Neither of these products supports Chromecast, which is mildly annoying, except that the BlueOS interface that the Icon runs on has a better internet radio implementation than the Eversolo. So one of the main reasons why you might want to use Chromecast to get hold of things like BBC Sounds and so on and so forth, this has ways around that this does not. So again, it swings and roundabouts. The thing is though, I've lived with this product for several months now, and I've had the Eversolo here for over a month. They may look like competitors, but in so many ways they're not. And I'll do my best to explain that, and you can violently disagree with me in the comments. That's the luxury of YouTube. Effectively, let's put this to one side and go back to the Eversolo. I've spent some time with this now, and this is the better piece of source equipment. If you've got an amplifier that you like, whether it uses RCA or XLR inputs, this is probably the better partner for it. You can use that endless customization to really get it set up to function how you want it to be, either as a self-contained server or, you know, if you've got a really amazing digital stage on your amplifier, simply as a transport going out via the USB output. I like just how tweakable it is, and I like how it functions, and like its predecessor, it's the sort of thing where I'm going to reach for it because it's a peerless piece of test equipment time after time after time. And in that regard, it genuinely is better than the Icon. But, and there's always a but, the Icon can do things that this can't. This has generally been sat upstairs in a system which is rather more streamlined than the Leviathan that lives downstairs. It's been connected to a power amplifier. It's had HDMI ARC going into it. It's been doing its own streaming, and now and again I actually run a turntable via a phono stage into the analog input. If you are simply seeking to build an incredibly streamlined system, be it with active speakers or power amp and passive speakers, this makes more sense. It's easier to get its maximum potential out because it's easier to use. It sits more happily in a multi-room environment because there's so many other devices work on BlueOS. Both of these products work perfectly happily on Roon. That's how the synced displays and stuff are working in the videos that accompany this. But this product just functions better as a standalone unit, and I think it reflects Bluesound's history and interest in that sort of concept. So if I wasn't looking to partner existing amplifier and speakers, but I was actually looking to build a very modern condensed two-channel system where this is the hub point, it would be this that would be the hub point over the Eversolo. And it's just tiny little details. I can set an existing IR remote up to control certain functionality on this if the fancy takes me because of the IR learning. The HDMI ARC input, they've both got flawlessly reliable HDMI ARC connections, but this one just turns on and goes when I want it to. It sort of exists in a sort of network standby mode that I don't seem to be able to get the Eversolo to do. And it just inspires a degree of everyone in the house can use it confidence that you can get lost in a menu on this and not necessarily achieve in the same way. So if I was seeking to build one of those very modern hi-fi systems where, you know, it's not exactly the same source amp speaker stuff that I grew up with, I'd be choosing the Node Icon. And I don't know if that's a happy coincidence or either of the manufacturers, if they bother to watch this, will be disappointed in that outcome. But nevertheless, it's not a clear-cut choice. It depends what you want to do. So you've got the better piece of source equipment or the better system hub. But the good news is that the level of performance that both of them offer for under £1,000 is absolutely astonishing. Even allowing for the level of progress we've made, I'm still blown away by quite how good these products are, and that has to be seen as good news for all of us. If you've enjoyed this ever so slightly indecisive showdown between these two products, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. There will be more content. Some of it standalone, some of it comparisons. We'll see what's in and what makes sense to pitch against each other. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.